In example E, we're asked to compute g of f of -2. Okay, so basically, if you read this, okay, we need to look at the function g of f, and remember, it's a new function. We just formed it, okay, above. Okay, if you go back and scroll up, we formed it back in part B. Okay, we found g of f. Okay, we know the new function, it's x to the fourth plus 4, and we need to plug in -2 to that function. Okay, so let me go ahead and write this down. Okay, we know that g of f of x, okay, is, scroll back up, like I said, in part B, we found it to be x to the fourth plus 4. Okay, so that means g, you can break this down. This is g of f of -2 is, okay, you have a new function. You're just plugging -2 in for x. Okay, so this is going to be -2 to the fourth plus 4. Okay, so remember, this means you're going to take -2, you're going to multiply it by itself 4 times, okay, and then add 4. So -2 times -2 is 4, times -2 is -8, times -2 is positive 16 plus 4. Okay, the answer is 20. Okay, that's it. G of f of -2 is 20. Okay, again, when we take two functions and compose them, we get a new function. So this new function's going to have the same properties any other function would have. Okay, we can find its domain, we can plug things in to get outputs, and so on and so forth. Okay, all right, very similar situation in part F here. This time we're trying to compute f of 3. I will put this in a different color so it doesn't run into the other work we've done. So this is going to be f of 3. Okay, so basically you need to go find the function f of f. Okay, we already formed that function in part C. Okay, in part C, we composed f with itself, and we got that f of x is x to the fourth. Okay, and here we go. So we know that f of x is x to the fourth. Okay, so if we want to find f of 3, we just need to plug 3 into the function f of f. Okay, so this is going to be 3 to the fourth. Okay, so this is going to be 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Okay, so that's going to give us what? 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27, times 3 is 81. Okay, that's it. Okay, again, one thing I do want to mention, okay, both g of f and f of f, actually all 4 of the functions that we formed in this example, the domain is all real numbers, so there's no restrictions on what you can plug in. Okay, so in part E, it was perfectly fine to plug in -2 for x because the domain of g of f is all real numbers. Okay, and in part F, when we formed f of f, we said its domain is all real numbers, so it was perfectly fine to plug in x equals 3 to that function. Okay, the next example we do, okay, is going to be more complicated. Okay, because when you compose the functions, you won't end up with a polynomial, so the domain is going to be a lot trickier. Okay, so let's take a look.